Hi, Virgo. So I'm going to go ahead and preface this with the fact that we just got a blizzard warning because we've got about, I don't know, like maybe 1.5 to 2 feet of snow going on outside and blizzard storms that are literally blowing sideways. So the last two readings have had a lot to do with that mess out there, and I'm just going to warn you that it might be the same for you as well. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the solar system tarot deck. I think I will use the Amun Ra deck to get you some clarifiers, as well as potentially the Rider Waite Tarot, depending on if we've got time. So let's see what comes out for the Virgos. Okay. Intuition from distant galaxies is coming through. So you may be feeling like you're picking up on something. It is kind of strange when you have this much snow and this the blizzard is literally can't see more than 50 feet in front of your house. So it kind of does feel like you're in a little cocoon or in your own little world when everything is completely whiteout conditions outside. Let's see what else comes out for you guys though. These cards are huge and they're kind of hard to... Okay, Earth Source came out. So that's you showing up in your own reading. Obviously, Virgos are Earth signs. We are the third planet from the sun, so you know how that goes. Okay, Neutron Star and Intensity in Reverse came out. So you guys might be feeling very much at ease, even though there is a storm going on at the moment. And this could just be like, I mean, if you're not from Colorado, then it could just be a storm in your life or some type of an upheaval or some type of a, yes, productivity in reverse. So not such a productive day for one reason or the other. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys these cards. Distant Galaxies, Intuition, came out with the Earth. So there could be something that is reaching out to you from farther away. I was noticing earlier on, I think it was the Cancer read actually, that these specific star galaxies or distant galaxies seem to be lit up like a Christmas tree. So there, you could be having some type of a celestial download or more of a spiritual kind of day or week here, where you're feeling very thankful for the earth and the fact that that's our life source, and specifically the fact that you're might be feeling very grounded lately, amidst a whole bunch of different projects that might be going on, a whole bunch of different people, places, or things that could be I'm just saying this is an incubation of all these galaxies together is probably what's emitting that light there. Who knows? But it is really special when you feel the ability to kind of take into stock your own size on the planet when you're looking at the stars above, or when you're thinking about the way that the Earth has actually been cooking itself or tumbling through the universe for X amount of years at a certain rate, at a certain speed, doing certain things. And if that had not been the case, then we would not be having this conversation. So it's kind of a fun thing to think about as Earth source. And then for neutron star, intensity in reverse. So I'm just thinking about the fact that we've got so many different ways that we are able to tap into our own sources. I don't know if you guys have seen Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron is that a cartoon, but it's actually a really good cartoon having to do with a little boy who is in touch with something further than the earth, something more than the earth, as he comes of age. And although that's not necessarily productive to think about, it is when it comes down to things of a higher power or level of energy and a higher source of life. So I don't know, I'm not very religious, but I am actually very spiritual in that, whatever God it is that you pray to, whether it's the universe, whether it's the omniverse, whether it's the, I don't care what you call your God, it's really very interesting and very important to keep connected to that original source, and to realize that within each of the galaxies that have come before us and that will come after us, there are multiple different, each star out there is a sun. It is a solar sun. So I think it's really cool to think about that when you're thinking about intensity and productivity. Sometimes we're kind of hard on ourselves, especially as earth signs. While trying to stay grounded, it can be difficult to remain committed and intense and, completely down to earth about our thoughts and about our ideas. And sometimes it's okay not to be so intense about things. Sometimes it's okay to say, hey, you know what? Today I don't feel like going outside because it's blizzard out there, blizzard conditions, and I want to go sledding. Rather than being grounded in my work and being totally focused on the things that I feel like are going to exist before and after me, then maybe I could just enjoy the blizzard, some of this, this snow that has come to surround us in this cocoon of, sideways blowing energy. Of freezing energy, and kind of stop the productivity, make yourself some hot chocolate, and be it as it may, it might slow you down for a day or so, but the blizzard will not always be present. So go outside and have a snowball bite. Don't eat snow. I mean, you can if you want to, but I'm just saying, like, a snowball fight is what I meant to say. And I don't know why, I'm also just because that came out there. You could be thinking about the ways that source energy changes. So, I don't know if you guys have watched the video that I put up about water, but snow is a really fun in between ice and vapor kind of experience. So if you're not familiar with using that to your advantage, definitely go outside and see what you can do. It's kind of fun. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm getting here, is that it's important not to freeze yourself out when things don't go exactly as planned. If you've got your children home with you today instead of being, in remote learning or at school, then go outside and make the most of it. Make sure that you have, I'm seeing this as a huge snowflake. I mean, this is definitely a galaxy, a spiraling galaxy. But it's also fun to look at the ways that this huge galaxy looks like a snowflake, and it also looks like water going down a drain, and it also looks like, a bird's eye perspective on a huge, like a hurricane or something like that. So I think it's important and interesting to think about your intuition and the ways in which it can manifest itself through any kind of surrounding. It's one of the fun things about being a human, is that you get to experience a plethora of different scenarios, circumstances, and surroundings in your life at a rapid pace. So I'm going to go ahead and get some clarifiers for us. Distant galaxies and intuition clarifier, please. Okay. Yeah, so power came out. Intuition could be powerful for some of us, especially if you have if you're an earth sign with any kind of a water sign highly aspected in your chart. This is actually one of the times that you might feel a little bit more intuitive than not. I know that people typically don't really think about the sources, earth, air, fire, and water being, manifesting all at the same time, but this is one of those situations where things are really bright outside from the sun, because the snow will reflect the sunlight a lot easier than any other kind of like water, for example. And then on top of that, obviously the snow is water, and we are on Earth experiencing the snow and the sunlight. So just definitely keep in mind that sometimes there's an ability to amplify these things. All right, so source, like I was just saying, breakthrough, a powerful breakthrough could be happening for you guys right now. I will try to make the cover of this video the snowstorm, because it is very, it's really beautiful to look at. So especially for you guys that don't really get snow in your state, it's just kind of mind-blowing to see that much snow and the way that it interacts. Yeah, definitely I will go ahead and do that, especially because this is signifying a powerful breakthrough. Also, what this could signify was the loss of power in some places. I know that Texas just went through a huge power loss and a deep freeze. And so these things actually manifest themselves in different ways in different places. So Colorado is very, very accustomed to this. This is not normal for us necessarily, but it is. Yeah. We've gotten El Nino size snow where we couldn't even open our front doors because the snow had accumulated over 5 feet. And just go look it up if you don't know about El Nino. But in any case, neutron star or intensity is in the reverse with friendship. So like I was saying before, rather than taking everything so seriously, and rather than kind of being a chicken with your head cut off and having a lack of awareness about what's going on around you, try to enjoy it. Try to just sit down and say, hey, this is amazing. This is a beautiful thing to have happening outside of my window. And on top of that, just think of all the people in the world who've never even witnessed one flake of snow, or who have never had the ability to, have a snow day. These things are there's always two sides to a story, and this is one of them that I feel like instead of deciding that, we can be grumpy and miserable, I think it's an opportunity for us to really sit down and not be productive, to rest, rejuvenate a little bit, to try to get ourselves ready for this upcoming couple of days, and really appreciate, the air sign came out for spiral galaxy and productivity. So when you're thinking cerebrally, or when you're really very cerebral, you may be an air sign. You may have air sign tendencies. So the air is out there blowing as well. So in almost every single way, earth, air, fire, and water, this is a great example of how a blizzard is the culmination of those things, and why we should maybe, instead of looking at it as a pain in the butt, look at it as like a blessing in disguise. This could also represent the loss of productivity for either an air sign, a Gemini, or an Aquarius. Although, you guys are obviously very direct and straightforward, this could be one of those moments where you're not able to do what you need to do. And I mean that in more so in like for people who work in the air. So if you're a pilot, if you're a gardener who crawls up the tree and prunes the leaves in a certain way, or into agriculture, if you're somebody who is responsible for the power lines out there, staying up and available, if you're somebody who has to work with a specific set of people and a specific set of computers, and you're not able to go to work today because of the blizzard, and therefore you have a day off. Whether you're a NASA scientist, or whether you're whether you're just simply somebody who works in the botanical gardens and has to adjust the heat a little bit to accommodate the conditions outside. I just think this is a real understanding that although you might not be productive in the way that you originally thought, you could also have a serious breakthrough in the way that you are able to manifest. and this is an opportunity to do such. So whatever happens and however you decide to slice it, I hope you guys are safe and sound and having a good one, because it definitely it puts me in a good mood to see the weather change ad lib a little bit. So it's a good day to practice instruments inside. Speaking of air. Okay. I'm going to get some advice from the unicorns. I'm going to take this one. I kind of wanted to flip. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I just kind of pulled, and this is what I got, which is fascinating to me, actually. So intuition came out again for the intuition card here with power. And this intuition card says, listen to your inner wisdom. This person has a big ball on their lap, and the unicorn is laying directly next to it, kind of adding their inputs. This actually flipped out upside down, but all I'm seeing from that is that, everything has, like I said, a double-edged sword or inverse understanding. So especially with power sources, you have, in your heart, you've got veins you've got veins that have blood going in and out, veins and capillaries, sorry, and they work together. So this intuition, whether you feel like being a little bit more laid back today, not really thinking about much, maybe curling into bed and reading a book, or whether you feel like going outside and sledding or snowshoeing or going up to the mountains to go snowboarding or skiing or whatever it is that floats your boat, make sure that your power or that your brain, that your ability to enjoy today becomes something of a reality. So I just think that's really cool that both the intuition cards came out for the same portion of your read. Also, intuition is number 15. So 1 + 5 is 6. And I just think it's noteworthy as well. So take some time to be, maybe if you have a significant other, this is a good day for you guys to just connect with each other and just stay in bed. Oftentimes there's actually, in this book, Freakonomics, they actually say that after a huge blackout, like a huge blackout across the city, oftentimes 9 months later, whole bunches of babies come into fruition. So might be a good day to practice if that's something that you're wanting. All right, so then it says dignity. This is number 6. So 6 as in 1 + 5. Never mind. Hold your head up high and know the unicorns are supporting you. So basically, when you're out making a breakthrough, when you're out realizing what source of energy or source of entertainment or source of luck that you would like to manifest, this came out in the reverse. So just saying that, do something that you possibly haven't done before. A lot of people think that dignity means doing something valiant or doing something that's going to benefit other people. Maybe you don't need to do that today. Maybe for today, you can just have a breakthrough in your own source of happiness. And you can take pride and dignity in knowing that, at the moment, you're limited to a certain degree, or if you're not in Colorado, take pride in the fact that, you hold your head up high and know that the unicorns are supporting you. So just whatever it is that you're doing that's going to cause a breakthrough for you in terms of getting to know your source self or your own desires, your deepest wants and needs, that it's not wrong, that things are not necessarily always it's not always bad to indulge yourself with a entire container of ice cream, or that it's not always bad to spend the day in bed with your loved one, or always bad thing to call in because you don't feel like driving and you want to protect your own um, your own bodily health and well-being. If you weren't given the day off, which I couldn't imagine over here, but I'm just trying to say that don't do it on a consistent, regular basis. But the loss of dignity or the loss of respect for your own source can really put a damper on any kind of breakthrough that you might have with getting in touch with that source. So listening to yourself, no matter how ridiculous it might sound, no matter how off the wall the request that you might get from your higher self would be, sometimes it's really important to just honor that and acknowledge it in order for you to connect and just kind of say, hey, you know what? I've had these hiking boots in my closet for 3 years now, and I've never actually used them. And I would like to use them today. So I'm going to take the day off and I'm going to go hiking. Whatever that is to you, you will know. It will just make your heart smile. And I definitely encourage you to just give it a try, give it a go. So in any case, next thing that came out was divine sight. And that did come out in the reverse, with the friendship in reverse as well as the intensity in reverse. So I'm just really hearing here that rather than trying to do things for other people, like I said before, rather than doing things for your friends or for your coworkers, or oftentimes we're geared towards helping other people or doing things for other people rather than ourselves. And because today is, a whiteout condition, I do think that you kind of need to take a moment on your calendar, white out a day if you're not having a blizzard outside, and designate some time to see the divine in everyone and everything. So if that means to you being able to go out and volunteer for a source that you have never volunteered for, fine, that's fine. If that's what makes your soul feel great and fulfilled, do it. If it's, something a lot more simple, like reading a book that you just grabbed from Barnes and Nobles, or cleaning out your garage that you've not cleaned out for 5 years, do that instead. Whatever it is that is going to make you feel successful and positive and motivated to continue doing and being yourself on this earth, then I would suggest that you make kind of a date for yourself to do that, because it does feel really good to be able to feel successful in everything that you do. And even though that's not always possible, if you can just break off a little piece of that success and enjoy it for yourself, then it's something beautiful. So last but not least comes honesty. Honesty is number 13. That's what came out with air. And it just says, honesty will ultimately be rewarded. So, don't lie about, don't say, oh, well, I'm sick, so I can't come to work today. Just plan a day. If you didn't get a snow day, or if you didn't get, any kind of weather to kind of justify your actions, just say to yourself and to the world, hey, I'm going to take a day. You don't need to explain yourself to anybody. You don't need to prove yourself to anybody. It's okay for you to just say, be responsible. Don't lose whatever it is that you're looking for. But just say, I'm going to take a day to think about what I want to think about, and either not be productive in the ways that I usually am, or to be productive in a way that I haven't been before. I think that's always a great thing. It opens new doors. It gives you new kind of gusto. Everyone always feels better when they come back from vacation. So even if it's just a day, take the day and have you a bubble bath. So anyway, that's all I've got for you, Virgo. I hope that you guys are enjoying the weather as much as I am, and I will talk to you guys later.